Sylvester Stallone and Robert Patrick Haddon worked together for 23 years when they reunited for the new season of Tulsa King, but their reunion in front of the camera was anything but sweet. Patrick made his Taylor Sheridan return in the first episode of the new season, in which he plays Jeremiah Dunmire, the leader of the Dixie Mafia. His position puts him in direct conflict with Dwight as Stallone's rising crime boss looks to acquire the for-sale Montague Distillery, who has a generations-long history with the Dunmires. While Dwight initially wins by outbidding his competitor, this boils over into a war between him and Patrick's character, particularly after the latter burns down the Montague patriarch's house with him inside. This war has been escalating steadily, going into the latest Tulsa King Season 3 episode, The G and the OG, in which Bella Heathcote's Cleo and Garrett Hedlund's Mitch take a road trip that leads to them vandalizing part of Dunmire's estate out of anger for her father's murder. Bodie, Tyson and Grace, meanwhile, put a damper on Cole Dunmire's bingo scam, with Bo Knapp's character coming after Tyson toward the end of the episode with his crew, successfully intimidating him into giving up the location of the Montague 50, the secret stash of bourbon worth $150 million. Dwight is left in a bind. In honor of the season's ongoing run, Screen Rant interviewed Robert Patrick to discuss Tulsa King Season 3. The star opened up about getting to reunite with Stallone on screen for the first time in over 20 years, and how their friendship inspired his villainous performance, as well as a tease of the war to come between Dwight and the Dunmires, and Jeremiah's ultimate goal. Stallone remains one of Patrick's ultimate heroes. Robert Patrick's Jeremiah Dunmire looking sternly at Sylvester Stallone's Dwight while leaving a funeral in Tulsa King Season 3. Coming into Tulsa King Season 3, Patrick is not only reuniting with Taylor Sheridan after having the recurring role of Sheriff William McDowell in his two-season Yellowstone prequel, 1923, but also with Stallone. The stars previously worked together in James Mangold's 1997 crime drama Copland and the infamously maligned action thriller Detox. When it came time to work with Stallone again, Patrick described the opportunity as certainly something I looked forward to, especially having seen the three-time Oscar nominee in Social Situations throughout the years. He was further thrilled when he learned that Stallone had a hand in Patrick being cast as Season 3's big bad. He walked out, and I was very excited to see him, Patrick recalled. He came around the corner in the funeral scene, and he says, well, Robert, it's been a few weeks. And I said, yeah, it's been a few years, buddy. Chuckles, and then we just settled right in, and we went at it. I just had a great experience. Patrick went on to describe how his career has afforded him the opportunity to work with so many guys that are heroes of mine, citing Stallone as one of them as Rocky was a big movie when I was a junior in high school. Pointing to the Oscar-nominated boxing drama as one of the reasons why I wanted to be an actor, the star praised Stallone's ability to make something that could touch the people that are out in the audience, and in that case, the willingness to believe enough in a dream, to follow it and pursue it and go for it and have the chutzpah to do it, Patrick further praised. I got so much help from the cinematographers and the score. Everything they've done for me, they've done an amazing job. They wrote the hell out of Jeremiah Dunmire. Ever since making his breakout on screen as the liquid-based T-1000 in Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Patrick remains one of the best-known character actors in Hollywood, particularly for his villainous performances. With Tulsa King's new villain, he not only praises the show's creative team for presenting him with rich scripts and a full backstory. Moreover, Patrick also found a personal sense of relatability with the Dunmire patriarch, being inspired both by people from his life, as well as himself. As he explains, he was born and raised in the Atlanta, Georgia area, while also being a Scots-Irish guy and a Christian who goes to church on a regular basis and is very committed to my faith. This guy comes from a family legacy of moonshining, and how important that is to him, and the distillery and his family and his forefathers and all his ancestors, it's a big deal, Patrick explained. Right there, that's meaty. Now, you know who this guy is, and I represent all that, and when I show up to Dwight Manfredi, I'm bringing all that history with me, and that's kind of the way it was. You're going to see I'm bringing all my ancestors right here to you. And you think you're something because you're this Italian guy from New York City Mafia. Well, let me tell you, I'm this guy. With his character being so driven by legacy and family, Patrick does see his Tulsa King Season 3 character as being the hero of his own story. More specifically, he describes the dynamic as Jeremiah was invaded by Dwight, having simply doing my life and doing my business, only for this guy that's cutting into my territory to arrive on the scene. I saw it as an adversarial confrontation, Patrick described. I'm being attacked, so I feel like I'm justified in everything I'm doing. I'm defending my family. You are invading me, you are disrupting me, and I'm going to fight back. Now that the Dunmires have their hands on the Montague 50, the rest of Tulsa King Season 3 is going to see Dwight upping his efforts to bring down Patrick and his crew. However, as Patrick teases, it won't be an easy battle, as Jeremiah is going to fight Dwight Manfredi every way I can, particularly by finding his vulnerabilities. That is the extent of our relationship, and that's the way it's going to be, Patrick shared. I won't back down. Jeremiah and Cole Dunmire have a complicated father-son relationship. Just prior to meeting Jeremiah in the series, Tulsa King Season 3 first introduces viewers to Cole Dunmire, his son played by Roadhouse's Bo Knapp. Much like his father, Cole is someone who is vicious in protecting what he views as his territory, in this case being the affections of Cleo, despite her love for Mitch. However, even as he works as a loyal pseudo-lieutenant in his father's operations, Jeremiah and Cole have a none too pleasant relationship, with the father often diminishing his son. While part of this stems from Cole's ego-driven behavior, it also comes from the fact his elder son died fighting in the army. Looking at the dynamic between them, Patrick acknowledges that most father-son relationships are complicated, though in the case of Jeremiah and Cole, there's a feeling that the father wants so much more for the son, believing that Knapp's character isn't living up to his potential. This guy ain't cutting it, and my favorite son died, Patrick describes his character's mentality. The star also went on to feel that he was able to pull from his own relationship with his father to inspire his performance in Tulsa King, feeling a lot of who I am is my father, who was a tough guy, and how he always tried to please him. He ultimately feels that a father-son relationship should be tough, chuckling as he expresses boys aren't supposed to be coddled, a belief that Jeremiah adheres to.